The Dual Wield Saugs absolutely shred in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies. Season 1 for Black Ops 6 just launched, and Treyrach added back the fan-favorite Saug SMG into the game. Stay locked because in this video I'll be showing you how to unlock it, giving you the best dual wield loadout, highlighting gameplay of it against the zombies and elites, as well as how it stacks up against Patient 13 and the Liberty Falls lockdown. The Saug can be unlocked by progressing to page 3 of the Battle Pass. Now don't freak out, you don't have to buy the Battle Pass in order to unlock the Saug. You can still level up the Battle Pass even though you don't own it, and every once in a while you'll come up on some free gear, and the Saug as well as the Krig fall into that free loot category. Once you do make it through the entirety of page 3 of the Battle Pass, you'll gain instant access to it in the loadout menu. You also don't have to reach a certain level to unlock it, and prestiging won't lock it away, so you'll have this every time you do a fresh prestige. Now that you know how to unlock the Saug, I'm going to give you the best meta build for it. Up on screen now is the build that I used throughout this video. You'll need to have it completely leveled up to have all the same attachments I'm running. Don't worry though, the base version of the weapon is fantastic, so just throw some double weapon XP on if you have any to spare, and take a trip to Liberty Falls and you'll be at max level in no time. As I said, up on screen is the meta class for the Saug, and the attachments that I run are the Suppressor, the Gain Twist Barrel, Extended Mag 2, Steady Aim Laser, Rapid Fire Mod, and of course the Akimbo stock. Now really quick, if you do run the Akimbo Saugs, you won't be able to equip most of the optics and no underbarrel, but the trade-off for not having that 8th attachment is well worth it. Now that you have the meta build, let's go over how it fared in-game. So against the regular zombies and armored zombies, it absolutely shreds, no matter if it's not pack-a-punched, whether it's pack-a-punched. You know, in the low rounds, some guns really suck until it gets pack-a-punched. Right away, you're going to notice that this gun absolutely shreds. Whether you have it Akimbo or not, it just completely wipes any of the zombies on the lower rounds. I'd say by like 5 or 6, though, you should definitely either throw it in the pack-a-punch machine once or get a couple of rarity upgrades on it, because it does start to fall off, just like most of the other guns, around like 7 or 8. But like for the first, 6 rounds, you'll have no problems getting to pack-a-punch on either of the maps. Now, as you get into the higher rounds, it still does really good against the zombies. I'd say it probably can make it all the way up to the 30s. Akimbo's maybe like mid-30s before you really start to have any issues actually killing the zombies. There are 2 things that I'd say are the downside of the Saug, and it's not the best gun in the game, but it still absolutely shreds. The first thing is the base sprint speed with it. Now, for an SMG, to expect the gun to be like really lightweight and be able to fly around the map, but until you have stamina up, it's really slow. Now, it's not the slowest gun in the game. It's not as slow as a Sigma or the other RPG, but for an SMG, I just thought I'd be flying around the map, and I really wasn't. Once you get stamina up, you'll be okay. It's just those first like 10 or 15 rounds, you kind of got to be careful because you could get backed into a corner, or if you're trying to like make a cut through a horde of zombies, you might get trapped. Now, the other downside, especially with the dual wield Saugs, is that you run out of ammo really quickly. With the dual wield Saugs, they're so OP, and I find myself kind of just zoning out and slaying all the zombies and stuff and not really paying attention to how much I'm firing off. But like I said, you have to be really careful with that because it really only takes like 1 or 2 bullets from each of the guns to kill off the zombie. So really be careful when you're running these, because you could just zone out and just be playing the game and like completely shred through all of the ammo in both the guns in like 1 or 2 rounds, especially once you get to the 20s or 30s. So again, just be cognizant of how much you're firing the gun. I know it's super fun to run around with these dual wield weapons that are so OP and just clear off the entire round, but most of the time I find myself wasting more ammo than I really have to, and that just ends up setting me back if I need to get perks or upgrade the gun further through the pack-a-punch, or if I'm trying to get level 3 armor, I just end up using more ammo than I have to and then having to buy some from the ammo crates around the map. Now against the elites, we're going to start with the manglers. These things like 2 or 3 tap the manglers. Even the base version of the gun without the dual wield will fry it, but the dual wields like are I swear like 2 or 3 bullets on each gun just to be able to take out an entire mangler, even if you're not hitting headshots. Usually with a lot of like the pistols or some of the other SMGs or just other weapons in general in the game, I find it really hard to take out the manglers, especially as you get into like the late 20s, early 30s. No problem with this gun though, man. Especially that dual wield, you get this thing in the game and you are frying up the manglers like it's nobody's business. Obviously, once you get to like the late 30s, it becomes a little bit of a problem, but that's not really a Saug issue. That's just more of the balancing in the game and how the weapons stack up against the elites as you go into the higher rounds. So I'm hoping that at some point they add like double tap 2 in to kind of give you a little bit of an extra boost to maybe like the low to mid 40s to stay competitive with most of these weapons. But again, it falling off in like the mid to late 30s is really not a Saug thing. It's more of just an everything kind of problem in the game right now. Now, earlier I did a review on the Dragon's Breath on the ASG shotgun, and it did not do well at all against the amalgam, and I was really surprised because I thought this thing would absolutely shred the amalgams, but these dual wield Saugs fry amalgams. Let me tell you, these are ridiculously OP. Even if you're not hitting their heads directly, you can literally just start spraying, maybe use like half the ammo in the clip, and you can just completely wipe away any amalgam that comes at you. Even Nathan, like I think it did better than the shotgun against Nathan, which is just saying a lot because I've been very high on that shotgun the entire preseason. Even today with the Dragon's Breath, I thought none of the guns that I'd review the rest of the day would even touch the ASG, but my god, dude, this thing literally cleans up those amalgams. If you want to run this on Terminus, definitely go for it, because you should have absolutely no problem taking care of either the amalgam or the mangler over there on Terminus. You might be thinking like, okay, well, if it was good on Terminus, then it's probably not going to be good against the abominations. Wrong, dude. This thing is even better against the abominations than it is the amalgam. If you're not even shooting at their heads, you can like completely wipe away these guys with no problems at all. And if you do hit their heads, it's like 2 or 3 bullets to a mouth before it pops. It's so disgustingly OP. I can't even think of a better gun to use against the abominations right now. Even the shotguns, like I thought it would not even come close to that ASG, but it continues to just melt through any bosses that you throw at it. Moving into the 2 boss fights, we're going to start with Patient 13, and I was really actually underwhelmed with how these performed. They do pretty decent damage if you can get up close to them, but through the first phase, I was kind of struggling a little bit. I ran out of ammo towards the end of the first phase, and that was honestly the biggest problem, as I mentioned earlier too, is like it just shreds through ammo, and it doesn't do enough damage to Patient 13 to really get you through the different stages. In stage 2, I was really starting to panic. I flew through ammo and wasn't able to complete them to get that free max ammo, and I didn't have enough money to buy more ammo, so I ended up dying at the end of stage 2, which really sucked because I just did this Easter egg with no perks the other day and with like literally 0 problem. So if you are going to use the Saug on Terminus and you're planning to do the Easter egg, I would say try to get the Beam Smasher or the Ray Gun out of the box. You should be able to finish off the boss after you completely waste all your ammo in the Saugs. To finish up that stage, but it was so underwhelming against Patient 13. I thought maybe it'd be super OP and we'd find a hack or something, but it was really not good at all. If you are going to run on Terminus, use it as a support weapon. Like I said, you could literally clear off all the zombies, the amalgam, the manglers with no problem at all whatsoever. But against Patient 13, it sucked absolutely donkey dick, bro. Don't use it. I'm telling you right now, if you equip this and think you're going to get through Patient 13, I don't care how good you think you are, very unlikely to get through it unless you have like 20k stashed away to be able to buy extra ammo. And even then, still going to be having a problem with it. But on Liberty Falls, I was more than surprised with how this held up against the elite zombies. The elite manglers almost died as quick as a regular mangler, especially in that boss fight. I was expecting to kind of have a little bit of a struggle, especially with how it performed against Patient 13. But no, it absolutely cooked the mangler. Same with the abomination. I thought, well, all right, if it cooked the mangler, it's probably not going to do too much against the abom. No, even better against the abomination. I don't think there's a better gun to use against abominations or elite abominations than this Saug. It absolutely fries, and I think this could be the weapon moving forward for any of the Liberty Falls speedruns if you're not using like the Etherella cheese where you just bring her in. If you're trying to get that Dark Ops challenge, and you're trying to really play as vanilla as possible, use these Saugs, man. I'm telling you right now, you'll fly through the boss fight. This was the least amount of difficulty I've received in the entire boss fight. Even with the shotgun, sometimes it gets a little hairy because it doesn't perform very well against those elite manglers or against the elite abominations. It does okay against the abom. But this thing absolutely fried through it. I think I got through the boss fight maybe like 4 or 5 minutes, the entirety of it, even with the in-between transition phases where it gets really slow. These Saugs absolutely cleaned up, man. So overall, guys, I think the Saugs are absolutely amazing. I haven't tried them in multiplayer yet, and I'd be really excited to, especially since I've got all the attachments, and I could just see how broken they'd be running around with Dual Saugs on Nuketown. But from a zombies perspective, man, it was absolutely gas. Like, I had so much fun using these, except against Patient 13, against zombies, armored zombies, manglers, amalgam, abominations. You're gonna have probably one of the most fun games of zombies the entire year using these Dual Wield Saugs. But again, if you're going for the Patient 13 boss fight, definitely grab a secondary weapon, either a shotgun or an AR or one of the wonder weapons to try to clean up the boss when you run out of ammo, because I got absolutely worked, and that does not happen to me in the boss fight. So if you guys did enjoy this video, I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed if you haven't done so already. Hope you have a good rest of your night or day, depending upon when you're watching this. Remember to stay hydrated, do not cramp. Peace.